So if I were to ask you, right,
Yeah.
Ben, what does it take to be a top player then?
Well, I think beyond skills, we've often say this a lot. It's about the mentality. When you have a good mentality, when the going gets tough, when the going gets tough, you're able to.
The tough gets going.
Yeah. And
It's damn cliche, though.
Yeah, it is. That's why I'm going to change this the next line.
All right.
You're gonna be able to pick yourself up, and instead of fight against the tough, now you toughen yourself and be that one.
So be a Beckham.
442DUDES.
And this is another episode of 442DUDES. I am Ben.
I'm John.
Together with the dudes that bring you 442. And today we're going to be focusing on a lot of players. I think players must be mentioned because they have done greatness in the world of football. Some. Anyway, we'll see you for 90 minutes off. Welcome to 90 Minutes Of. And in this segment, we'll be focusing on players in particular, not just matches, but more of players and the sort of impact they have for the team and especially for the game. And I think we're going to start off with one player. I think we've mentioned him quite a few times as well. And I think he was one of the most surprising transfer for me.
Why is it a surprising
Well, I mean, I thought he would have come to the Premier League.
With Liverpool.
Okay, maybe not Liverpool, but anyway, I would have just thought he'd come to the Premier League, but instead, he went to Real Madrid, and at his age, but I think majority of the fans would not have thought he would have impressed this much.
I agree.
We know his skills. We know his skills for sure, but we didn't expect him to be this good and to be maintaining that consistency. Yeah, so that player is none other than Jude Bellingham.
Wow. Look at that.
What a player. That's all I can say.
Look at that passion
what
there.
A player.
Oh my gosh.
I think beyond the passion, he could be, in my opinion, the best English footballer to step into a Real Madrid shirt.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just saying that. I don't think Jonathan Woodgate did very well.
For sure. What a debut by Jonathan Woodgate there. But
David Beckham, okay.
I think before Bellingham, I think Beckham was the best English player to play for Real.
No, I'm not gonna.
But now I kind of agree that Bellingham is. No, but okay. I'm not sure if it's still too early to say because he's just 10 games into his Real career.
But 10 goals.
Yeah, but not just 10 goals. He has 13 goal contributions.
Yeah.
So in that sense, he has already exceeded CR's record, right?
Yeah.
To his time in Real, but. To say that he is the best English player to ever play for Real, I don't know. I actually think it's
too early.
Too early. It's still too early to tell.
Okay.
But what I must say is this guy, Jude Bellingham, I think he is destined for success. And I want to put it out here. I think he is, along with Haaland, like Erling Haaland, the front runners for the Ballon d'Or in the years to come.
And do you think, now I'm just going to throw this right at you, do you think, for our era, it has always been Messi and CR7?
Yeah.
Do you think now, as we progress further in our journey to football, it's going to be Haaland and Bellingham?
I think they will be the front runners.
Okay.
However, I really hope not to see a repeat of just two players like CR and Messi. CR and Messi. Yeah. I hope we do see a wider variety of players.
Yeah. A bigger pool of
superstars in a sense. So obviously Haaland and Bellingham will be up there, on the top. Mbappe, obviously, another one. I just think that he needs to leave the French league.
Oh, yeah.
He needs to leave he's already 25. I think he has wasted, in my opinion, he's probably wasted a good number of years in the French league.
Okay.
He needs to be in the other leagues, whether it's the Premier League, whether it's La Liga.
Right.
I think he needs to go to those leagues to really cement his status as one of the top players in the world. I don't deny that he's a great player. I mean, he has been fantastic for France and on the international scene. But I think if you really want to talk about consistency, if you want to talk about doing everything, winning everything, you have to go to the best leagues in the world, and that means you need to go to the Premier League, you need to go to La Liga, probably the Bundesliga as well. So it is what it is. I mean,
it is what it is. No, I do
Correct,
agree with
correct.
you. I think that's why all these players are rising up.
Yes.
We talk about Haaland, the
Yes.
other players as well, and Bellingham is definitely one of them. I think when these players are given a chance to perform at what some may call the top leagues, then not only are they able to show their ability, but they're able to sort of, like what you said, cement their status as one of the top footballers of their generation.
So if I were to ask you, right,
Yeah.
Ben, what does it take to be a top player then?
Well, I think beyond skills, we've often say this a lot. It's about the mentality. When you have a good mentality, when the going gets tough, when the going gets tough, you're able to.
The tough gets going.
Yeah. And
It's damn cliche,
yeah,
though.
it is. That's why I'm going to change the next line.
All right.
Be able to pick yourself up, and instead of fight against the tough, no, you toughen yourself and be that one.
So be a Beckham.
Yeah. We're not promoting the show, but yeah, I mean, you gotta, like him, you gotta pick yourself up, just fight against the odds, show people, if they've been
The odds,
doubting
fight
you,
against the odds.
Huh?
The odds, you mean?
The odds. I said odds. Oh.
Yeah, you said odds.
Yeah, fight against the odds. Yeah, and then in that sense, you can cement yourself. So, in my opinion, mentality is going to be very important.
Do you think that mentality is the crucial element
Yeah.
to be a top player?
Because mentality is derived from discipline. And therefore, with discipline, you're able to show up for your training, and that helps with the physical aspect.
And the consistency.
Yeah, and that helps with the consistency. Because you have the discipline to overcome all of these. And like rightfully you said, Beckham, I'm sure there are other players equally there as well. And I just want to say out there, I'm going to name a player that I felt had a lot of mentality. I don't think anyone's expecting me to say this name. Don't laugh. I think Lukas Podolski, to me, has one of the better mentality for the German squad. And
I wouldn't deny that. Yeah, probably.
I just want to say it out there because I've been watching Germany since young, and Lukas Podolski straight away comes to mind when it comes to mentality, because whichever squad he belongs to may not play well, but he shows up, and in especially for Germany, he shows up even. So I think players these days, they have to have that show up mentality. If you had a bad day, that doesn't mean the bad day equates to what?
So in your sense, so would mentality help to kind of cover up some lack of talent in a sense?
100% for sure.
So talent is definitely one
talent.
is definitely one key ingredient,
Of course,
isn't it?
of course.
But the mentality is what
It's more important.
It's what brings them to the next level.
Correct.
Yeah. So mentality is one thing. So you mentioned about it's about discipline and all. So in these days, everybody talks about having an elite mentality.
Yeah.
The first person, more often than not, that comes to most people's minds, or even the name that comes out of people's mouths, is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I believe he's someone that has his own chef.
Yep.
He has his own personal trainer. He has his own masseur, and everything. Right. He has his own gym in his own house.
A strict regime. That he
Very
follows.
strict regime and all this discipline and everything. And I believe Haaland actually tries to adopt.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I think Haaland tries to adopt the same methods and all. I mean, at the end of the day, Ronaldo is Haaland's idol, right?
Yeah,
so you will want to follow and mirror what your idol does for being successful, right? It's kind of like a tried and tested formula, isn't it? So that's why they want to they want to try to mirror that, and to do that, I think is crazy. But I believe this is exactly why Ronaldo, at 38 this year, he is still banging in the goals. He's still granted it's in the Saudi league, but
he's still achieving.
Exactly.
And I think back then, maybe if we watch it early 2000s, we've never expect a player to be, don't even talk about 38, 35. It's very hard to find a player that's around that age to be still playing in such a consistent level.
Not just that.
Yeah.
To maintain that kind of fitness.
Yeah, the fitness, the body, all.
Oh my goodness! See, at 38, Ronaldo's physique is still. It's almost like it's still a specimen.
Just like Thiago Silva, gotta quickly drop your name there.
He's almost 40, isn't it?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness!
So I just want to say out there. Yeah.
Wow. So we spoke about Bellingham, we spoke about Haaland. Are there any other players in the current, or at least the up and coming players, who you think also possess the same kind of elite mentality that is necessary to become a top player?
Well, I mean, we have mentioned some of these players before. We talk about the controversy that surrounded this player recently. Osimhen. I think to me I think is
it Osimhen?
Yeah, Osimhen. Yeah, I believe his mentality is quite good. As I've said, he overcame that racism thing, and even for your own club to do that thing towards you. I mean, most people go, huh? I mean, why would you do that? Am I not your player? But he turned that around. Certainly, he had that, and I think there were many players. Liverpool one I cannot pronounce lah. The Szoboszlai, whatever.
It's Dominic Szoboszlai.
Okay, Dominic Szoboszlai. Yeah. Anyway, I believe he has a good mentality also.
I agree.
I'm not a Liverpool fan, but you can see the way he wants to try for the ball. He's trying to go for the ball. He's trying to steal it. He's trying to get it, score a goal. As long as you can see the passion.
Yep.
I think that comes from, that boils down to passion for the club, passion for the game, and mentality.
Because I think that kind of rubs on your teammates.
It does,
right?
it does,
that in a
it
sense
does.
is what true leadership is
Yeah,
all
yeah,
about.
it
But
does,
how
it
you
does.
actually influence people, not verbally, but through your actions.
I believe
correct?
so, yeah.
And these are the players like Haaland. I mean, if you see Haaland striving, you look at the way Bellingham plays for Real Madrid nowadays, you cannot not be inspired.
Infectious.
Correct.
Yeah,
his
very infectious.
I agree. The infectious is the word. I think they kind of have that kind of effect on their
and
teammates.
that's why from the players, whether you're in the front, in the middle, or whether you're just defending from the flanks, or maybe you could be the goalkeeper, like Unana, then your mentality has to be strong, because you have to produce that sort of mentality, because again, as I've said, it's infectious, and that rubs around people.
So it's not just on the field, isn't it?
No.
It's also how you conduct yourself off the field, right?
It's definitely off.
And especially with social media these days,
Yeah.
This off the field behavior. It's even more. It's how would I say? It holds even more importance, isn't it?
It's true, and if I can just throw my final comment on this one,
Yes.
I gotta say, he just retired, so I gotta give hats off to him. One of the Chelsea's greatest, in my opinion, Eden Hazard. He was a player with a good mentality, if not for the injuries.
Oh, we'll go into that a little bit. We'll go into that a little bit later, right?
Yeah,
We'll go into that
a little
later.
But I just want to quickly drop it.
Yeah, I just want to drop one more player's name. I mean, Alphonso Davies of Bayern Munich.
I mean, wow.
I think he is another classic example of what it really takes to be an elite mentality.
Canadian, right, the boy?
He's Canadian. But he was from a Ghanaian refugee camp. He was born in Ghana, right?
Okay.
Then he managed to make his way up into to the football, the leagues and all. And it's players. Actually, I quite like African players because of the way they try to make a living out of it, and the way they appreciate their lives. And we look at the likes of, Mane, Salah, how they are giving back. Kante is doing the same thing. I don't know. I think there's a lot of things to be learned from all these players. So, the young players nowadays, we especially, I don't mean any disrespect to English players, but I think a lot of them are overhyped.
No, because it's the lifestyle.
Correct. So, in a sense, I think there's a lot of learning to be done by footballers these days, young footballers. I think they need to be
absolutely right.
I think they should watch. Again, I'm not trying to promote the show, but I've watched the show, and I think we need to bring back this kind of attitude and this kind of mentality. If you haven't watched it, you should go and watch the Beckham's Netflix show. Yeah. Really, you should just go and watch it, because I think this is a show that every single aspiring footballer should watch.
Because as we've said, it's infectious, and
it's infectious.
His mentality there will infect the
correct
players.
And that show actually inspired McTominay.
Right.
So apparently McTominay watched the whole series. He completed the 4-part series just the night before the game.
And then
he went on to. He was so inspired, but he actually, with the moment he was called onto the pitch, he scored a brace for United, and then they won the game 2-1 against Brentford. So what's not to say he wouldn't inspire? I hope that every single footballer out there, or at least aspiring footballer, please go and watch the show. You should. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Maybe I'll call the United camp. Show your players this video. Maybe you will.
Oh, definitely.
I'm just saying.
Definitely.
Yeah. They'll start becoming all.
Sancho, we're talking about you. Anyway,
Beckham clones.
Yeah. So anyway, that wraps up the first segment called 90 Minutes Off, where we basically discuss what it takes to be your top player. We'll be moving on to the next segment called What's What with Who's Who.
And we'll see. We're gonna be a top player. I'm gonna watch the show soon.
You haven't watched?
No, I haven't watched.
Serious?
I really haven't watched.
What?
I haven't watched. Hello, and welcome to this segment we call What's What with Who's Who. Now, early on in our previous segment, we talked about this player. We want to bring him back for this particular segment as well, because there's something I just want to say more about him, and that is none other than Eden Hazard. Now, I think, John, earlier on, I mentioned about him, his mentality. I do believe he has a good mentality, the way he dribbles, the way he moves around the ball, the way he knows how to find that goal. I think it's a good mentality, but I think,
Carry on.
I saw that breathing in. But I just want to say, if he didn't leave us for Real Madrid, he would have cemented it better. That's just what I'm going to keep saying. I really had hope he'd never make the move from Chelsea to Real Madrid.
But that was his dream.
It was.
It was his dream move to Real, but unfortunately,
I'm
it didn't
pretty sure he probably
turn out the way.
regretted.
No,
Yeah.
I'm going to disagree with you over there with
come.
regards to Hazard having a good mentality.
Yeah.
Because from what I see from Hazard,
Yeah.
and based on how he plays the game,
Yeah.
he plays it in a very nonchalant way.
Yes.
You know, it's not kind of, yes, it's inspiring in some sense, but it's kind of like, it's because he's talented. That's it.
Yeah.
That's full stop. No, because of talent, full stop.
No.
I don't think he is someone that really has, because in my opinion, because of his talent, and we agreed in the previous segment that having an elite mentality will really make them into a top player, right? Really the best of the best.
Yeah.
And I think Hazard is one of those players with the potential to be really one of the best. He's in a generation where if Hazard had the same mentality as Ronaldo or as some of the players that we mentioned earlier, I really believe that he would have dethroned Ronaldo and Messi, or at least, rather break that I wouldn't call it a monopoly, but the duopoly of both Ronaldo and Messi, right? He would have broken it. It's not Neymar. Neymar is another player full of talent, but I think his mentality is a little bit lacking.
Yeah, it's not just like I don't even think it's there.
Correct. So I would disagree with you that Hazard has a good mentality, but what I would agree with you is. It's such a shame to see Hazard.
It is.
Retiring at age 32 in a modern context where 32 is basically where some players just started.
It could be still prime.
Most players, they really shine after 30. Ronaldo's one example. Messi is another example. Ibrahimovic is another example.
Speaking of Ibrahimovic,
a lot of them are really shining in their 30s. Benzema is another example. So for Hazard to retire at 32, I think is really, really a shame that he's gone down this road. I really do not know what happened. At Real, but for whatever reasons that didn't work out at Real,
it just derailed him,
I think in some sense his happy-go-lucky kind of attitude probably helped him, come to terms with retirement. Right? So I'm keen to see what he's going to do next.
Happens next.
Whether he's going to stay in football, whether he's not going to stay in football, whether he's going to start the academy, or whether he's going to make out the ball boy that he kicked, many years ago.
Dear Lord, never forget that.
I mean, we'll never know, right?
We'll never know.
Yeah. But.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's quite sad to see Hazard because to be very honest, I think this guy deserves to be mentioned as one of the, if not the best footballers in the Premier League history.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I'm definitely. I think to me, just going back to what you said, his nonchalant attitude. I think that's mentality right there. Because just like Ibrahimovic, they know that. I watched an interview, that was done with Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yes,
and he said, if I go into the field as thinking that I'm God, then he is like God, like he doesn't need to tell the world he's good. He knows he's that good. And I like his final line where he ended, at least that short clip where he said if he was going up against Fury, the boxing dude, he knows that he's not gonna win the guy, but he says he's gonna go in feeling like God as well. So I think.
So again, it's all about the attitude, right? It's about the mentality, isn't it?
It is. So I think similarly, going towards Hazard, I think Hazard had that attitude. He knew he could out-dribble a lot of players.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think he didn't really have to show it, and I think that's mentality right there. He knew he was going to get you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But I agree with you wholeheartedly. It is such. It's just such a sad. I don't even know what word I'm going to use. I wouldn't say it's disappointing, but it's just really sad to see him retire at a very young age. Because I love that Chelsea. You talked the lights about Ramirez, Oscar, Hazard. I mean, these are the people that I thought, they're gonna get us something, and they did.
They did.
Yes. And I like that. That was the Chelsea that I missed. Unfortunately, it's not the same today.
No, so I have a question to throw to you right now.
True.
He has been a free agent for so long,
exactly.
Right?
I want to know something too.
Why didn't Chelsea sign him on at least the short term? Do you think that he could have still made a difference to Chelsea this season?
The theory is because we're focusing a lot on the young players, it makes zero sense for us to buy or at least get someone that's older.
Correct.
Although I think with an older player, it would have brought some experience. It would galvanize the locker room. It would somewhat rally the boys together because he was with Chelsea before, and he did a lot of things with Chelsea. So I thought by bringing him back, short term. I don't know what's the short term now, maybe half the season, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think it would have worked for Chelsea.
I think so too. I mean, that was what came to my mind. That was what came to mind.
When we're so goddamn bloody injury prone, I think
Well, that's because of your trainer. But anyway.
So yeah.
Yeah, so no. Speaking of one Chelsea legend too.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't call him the next guy Chelsea legend, but I know you call him. But
I call him a legend still because because of the dramatics he has with Chelsea, you know. Bicycle kick and all that. But this one really shocked me. Now I know he's tall. He looks like a model and all that. Everyone's saying that, but I didn't know he can be a goalkeeper. We have a picture that we're about to show you.
Yes, it's coming up right now.
Goalkeeper. I mean, take a look at that. How the hell did he not play as a goalkeeper when he was younger? Because he looked like a goalkeeper right there.
Look, if you look at the bottom picture,
it looks like a goalkeeper.
That is bravery.
I mean, heroic antics right there.
That is bravery expected of a goalkeeper, not of a striker.
I mean, I don't even know a lot of goalkeepers who can do the same thing.
I will agree.
I will even say this. Our former current Kepa will not likely do that.
I would say Onana wouldn't be doing that as well.
I wouldn't know. But I'm just saying, Giroud, it's not a goalkeeper, but maybe he could be. But
the interesting thing was he was actually named in the team of the week as a goalkeeper.
He was.
He was.
Don't bluff. Really?
I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you. You go and take a look. He was named, and apparently AC Milan actually put on the official website.
Wow.
And also in their stalls.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper jersey of Giroud. Number 9, Giroud, and the goalkeeper jersey. And it was the highest sales among all the keepers, apparently.
You're shitting me.
I'm not even kidding you.
Giroud Giroud.
Well done, Giroud. Well done.
Isn't a goalkeeper.
No, look at that. Look at that.
But he looks like
a keeper, isn't it?
I'm saying, yeah. He's probably quite all-rounded now.
He should maybe change his position next.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, when he gets a little bit older, maybe he can consider, being a goalkeeper.
He's already 37.
That's still young. Look at Ronaldo, going to be 39 soon. Look at Thiago Silva. Okay, anyway, so it's good to see that. I mean, while it's for laughs, but if we actually watch the way he saved, I think it was brilliant. The way, we were talking before this, the way he was holding on to the ball, he wasn't letting it go easily. I think
correct. His technique was pretty much how a goalkeeper should.
Goalkeeper should.
Yes, I totally agree there. Speaking of Giroud, I just want to move on to the next topic.
Okay.
So as you know, Giroud actually kind of made his name for this French club called Montpellier.
Oh, okay.
And with regards to Montpellier, I think something that was quite sad that took place over the weekend. If you're going to show on screen right now, what happened was that the goalkeeper, I believe, is for Clermont. Okay. Which is the opposition in the game between Clermont and Montpellier.
Okay.
The goalkeeper, what's his name? Maury Dial. I hope I pronounced it correctly. Maury Dial.
Okay.
He was injured by an exploding flare that was thrown onto the pitch. So if you look at the picture over there.
Wait, thrown by who?
A fan.
What the? Wow.
So you know how fans always like to throw flares onto the pitches and all. He was just walking. So if you look at the top left picture, you see that cloud of smoke over there.
Yeah. That was the flare.
I mean, I saw the video. It was just literally just boom.
Oh dear.
And he immediately fell down.
I mean,
probably from the shock.
Wow.
But it's just, I don't know, when I saw that the game was eventually abandoned, by the way.
Oh, rightfully so.
And I think they should. I think it was the right thing to do.
They should.
No, but I don't know. I just think, why are we still allowing all these things to take place in the stadium?
I mean, you see, it goes back to what you said, I think 2 segments or 1 segment ago. You said Mbappe has to leave the French league to go to the others league. And this probably just enhances it more, in my opinion.
I know. Correct. I mean, I don't think there's really much of a linkage, but in terms of player safety, I mean, we are the age where this is probably commonplace in yesteryears, right? I mean, I've seen it in the Serie A, to the point where it's got so bad to the point where the fans had to be, in a way, caged up in the Serie A back in the late 90s and the early 2000s when I was watching Serie A consistently. That was exactly what happened in those stadiums, and I think right now, they should at least. I know if you do it in this sensitive woke generation, it's going to create a lot of criticism and whatnot. But I'm sure you can do something about allowing the flares to come in, or at least things that can actually hurt the players.
Security check.
Exactly. I mean, you look at what happened. We spoke about the thing that happened in Holland between Ajax and Feyenoord and all. I think the authorities have to do a lot more to protect the players. Right.
Because, we're all, them as well, we're all coming together to watch football.
Correct. It's all for entertainment. It's all to pass some time. let's make it a peaceful one.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. If you want to boo, that's okay.
Exactly.
But
There's
don't
so
injure
many
someone.
things going on in the world. Just allow us to escape from all these things
Yeah.
and enjoy a game of football.
Exactly.
That's really, as a fan, that's really all I ask for, to be
Correct.
honest.
That's all we want.
Yeah.
Football.
Yeah, I mean. So anyway, yeah. So I think that wraps up our nothing else, right, Ben?
No lah, nothing else lah.
Yeah, so once again, that wraps up our episode today, where we spoke about what it really takes to be a top player. Now, just really curious what you guys think. Now, whether you agree with us, the mentality is really the key ingredient to be a top player, or you think something else, whether you think just talent is enough. I don't know. Just let us know in the comment section. Feel free to share with us your own thoughts of what it takes to be a top player. And here's once again, we are the 442 dudes from Singapore, right here in Tampines, right? Not 10 Pines, as Ben always call it.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Ben, I'm John, and we will see you guys next week.
再见。